Hey, Bills fans, you think the Bills have a good chance against the Kansas City Chiefs? I know that game against Baltimore. I'm going to be honest, I never thought they'd pull it out because, the last time they played Baltimore, they got killed. I know Bills had injuries on defense. And I also know Lamar Jackson has struggled in the playoffs, but I thought this time he probably would get it together. No, my Bills, they're on the Blues in the game. Unfortunately, they pulled it out. And like I've been saying all year long, the Bills' defense, they might not always look great at times, but they seem to make impactful plays when they need them the most. So it's really good because Josh Allen doesn't always have to be the hero all the time, which is great. If you look at his numbers, they weren't all that great, but he's very solid. He did have 2 rushing touchdowns, so either way, his passing numbers might not be that great, but he always finds a way. He doesn't turn the ball over in the playoffs. He finds a way to find the end zone, whether it's by his legs or get in the red zone and hand it off to James Cook. So I thought, because I knew it was going to be tough to run on the Baltimore defense because of the top defense as far as stopping the run. So the Bills did a decent enough job to keep the defense honest. That's the way I look at it. So I was really surprised that the Bills actually pulled it out. People says, "Oh, that drop, with the tight end, the 2-point conversion. First of all, it would have tied the game up. There's well over a minute left. I think the Bills had 2 timeouts. You don't think the Bills could have a chance to march up the field, possibly with Josh Allen, no less? I know the Ravens' defense is tough, but I think they could have found a way. They had plenty of time to do that and kick a game-winning field goal. So there's no guarantee the Ravens were going to win that game, or Andrews' drop meant that they actually lost. If you ask me, it should have never came down to that. I mean, they did have 3 turnovers. I mean, yeah, the one Lamar Jackson threw that interception didn't lead to points for Buffalo, but it did take a possession away from them. By doing that, who knows? Ravens might have been able to score in that possession. It would have been real tough for the Bills. And I'm telling you, Taron Johnson, if you ask me, he's very underrated. He's the one that really got to Lamar Jackson and had him fumbling. And who was right there to pick up the ball but Von Miller. Even though he wasn't the one that mainly did it, but he was right there in the mix of things. So he's looking, like his old self at times when I see footage of him. They don't give him a whole lot of snaps, but when he's out there, he does kind of make a difference, even though it's not on paper. But, so I looked up the numbers on Kansas City. They always talk about how great this defense is. If it wasn't for the Bills giving up those 2 40-point games, the Bills' defense, as far as giving up points, would be almost like dead even. Plus, Kansas City only has 2 more sacks than Buffalo as a defense. Bills, put a good amount of pressure on the quarterback. That's where they're getting the turnovers from. Plus, Josh Allen is not, and I repeat, not the easiest guy to sack. I mean, come on. He went against the Denver Broncos, who had 63 sacks. And a couple of those sacks he had, it didn't really mean anything. It was almost like a carry for a loss kind of thing. It's not like he was sacked dead on in the backfield that much. Even with the Ravens, so he's really hard to sack and get to. He always makes things happen. As long as he doesn't turn the ball over, which he normally doesn't do in the playoffs. And because this is what I love about Joe Brady. He limits all that by making the play calling easier for the running game. He's really into the running game, which I'm into the running game too. James Cook doesn't always have these value numbers, but he gets everybody else involved. So they never know what the Bills are going to do because in the last few years, even under Brian Daboll, they started becoming more and more predictable. Then Ken Dorsey, they were totally predictable, especially in the red zone. Now, he's so unpredictable even as a fan. When you see it, you really don't know what he's going to do, which makes it kind of exciting. So, like I look at Kansas City, they're only scoring a little over 22 points per game. The Bills are scoring almost 31 points a game. So I'm like, the Bills, people say, well, if they don't win it this year, it's over. I'm like, no, they said that going into the year. That's the thing. They thought the Bills were going to have a down year. They lost everybody. They never expected this. So when I hear that the Bills, they're never going to win it, give me a break. You never thought they were going to be in it at this point. So you just never know. And the Bills got to get past Kansas City. It's just a must. They beat them in the regular season, Buffalo. And for the record, Bills had injuries on offense in that game. And they still put up 30 points. I know the tight end was hurt. I think Keenan Coleman didn't play. And also Amari Cooper, he did play, but he was questionable whether he was going to play or not. He had a wrist on it. He did make impactful plays, though. So then they're going to have those guys back. And they didn't have Matt Milano the first time either. He made some really impactful plays for them. He's getting back to his old self. So just give me your thoughts. You think the Bills are going to win this game against Kansas City. It's at Kansas City, but Bills have beaten there before in the regular seasons. So just give me your thoughts. If the Bills are going to win or not, please leave your comments. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. And I'll talk to you later.